Morning, everybody. It's Sunday. Is it the 8th, y'all, of August? Help me out here. Obviously, I'm losing track of the days. My kids are like, time for dementia screening. Um, no, not yet, y'all, sweethearts. Why do you think I keep my mind active? Another thing is, I got all these skills. I'm not in no way bragging or whatever, but I honed these skills. I went to school. I've applied them in my life because you know what? It isn't just education, and you all know this. I'm 65. Your struggle has to bring about wisdom, and oh, I like that word, wisdom. We used to think of old people as wise, right? We still could if we wanted to. A little plug there for us seniors. Okay, I thought today'd be like a little hodgepodge of stuff. I am done primarily with everything about PTSD. I was trying to think, was there anything else that I have left out of the puzzle? I saw a couple other therapists, support me in that, but she was the best one, and they confirmed, or believed as well, that I have complex PTSD. I don't know why I'm smiling about that. Something, I'm going to say something. I think I told you in one of the videos how, my ex's wife said that, she knew I had issues. Gosh, I am so proud of the fact, I've gone on to get an education. I've gone on and, overcome so much. Maybe some of it isn't meant to be overcome in this lifetime. Maybe we need to continue to struggle. And I know that I certainly do. I'm having a really bad flare-up with my Addisons, and what happens is super fatigue, super dizziness, like holding on to stuff. A couple times, and I said this will be a hodgepodge, a couple times I have actually passed out, That's what happens. You get your blood. See, the thing with Addison's as well, a couple of the warning signs is your blood pressure gets too low. That's when you pass out. If it gets too low, you can go in a coma. And it has happened. And, people can die from Addison's. And the other thing is you have a low body temperature. So, oh gosh, if I ever go above 97, I'm definitely having a fever, y'all. And so, my hands are usually cold and, it's not like I'm skinny and need a sweater, because, normally thin people, as you have noticed, they get chilled easier, and I'm just kind of like a medium weight, a little heavier than I want to be, but, it's called pandemic weight, y'all. You know that. It's not held against us. In fact, Roy went to the doctors this week and she goes, don't feel bad. Everyone's got some pandemic weight. Although, kudos to those that actually have managed to lose. I'm proud of y'all. Okay. Or, just maintain a healthy lifestyle. We do work at that. We definitely work at that. I drive Livy crazy, Has a Leo, brush your teeth, stupid stuff, Oh, well. I'm a nega grandma too, I guess. If the others were around me, I'd probably be the same way, but not jumping in like, okay, can I help and do this? But not interfering. I know when to back off. I'm really good at that too. Boundaries, right? Well, I got to practice them every way. Okay, what I'll do, I felt like there was one more thing I wanted to explain about PTSD, but I can't think of what it is, so I'm going to go move on. What I will go ahead and do is, and those of us, not really interested in faith-based poems, I want to check out, because this might be boring to you. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and delve into it. And, I've posted a couple on Facebook, and those, my Facebook buddies might have already seen these. Okay, so one of them is the word. People seem to have a lot to say. Oh, boy, do we have a lot to say lately, right? Books and media bound on every subject. Tidbits and insights, one-liners and sound bites. How-tos and do's on so many topics. Talk shows, therapy, and advice of every kind. Folks desperate tell it all, hoping for a bit of logic. And in this struggle and in this quest we find something timeless, precious, and dear, transforms our lives with his perfect love, his inspired word, ageless, endless, and clear. I love that. I just like it. On to the next one. And I know I've posted this one. I think I post it usually around Easter, and it's called No More Crying. Weeping, wailing, wounded, sitting, standing, staying, near the wall and praying, waiting, wondering, watching for the day he's coming. No more crying, no more suffering, glorious day, glorious morning. I like that one, y'all. All right, okay. The next one is called Heaven One Day. I honestly, I have so many versions of heaven. I'm like, we go up there, we, because I belong to different faiths, Christian faiths. And by the way, Mormons are Christians, even though they have some, other beliefs you may not agree with. I just thought I'd throw that out there because a lot of people don't believe that. They are definite Christ followers. They don't worship Joseph Smith. They just think he's a prophet. And there's some, things that have been handed down that, I've come to that I question and come to disagree with. But let me tell you, I grew so much in the gospel. I meander, I digress, I deviate, but I grew so much in the gospel because I taught. I thought about this after. I taught spiritual living, y'all. It was wonderful. I love teaching that. I taught spiritual living classes as well. And I wanted to say, oh yeah, and I was in the primary presidency. I was never in the young women's presidency. I may have said that, sometimes, you talk and you misspeak. Oh, my little love's popping up. You're going to have to wait, love bug. Oh, I love you. Talk to you later. So anyways, I may have misspoke. Sometimes you're rambling like, wait, did I say that right? Especially when you're sleep deprived. We've all done that. Okay. So what I'm trying to say is I gained so much knowledge because I had prepared so much. And Roy Johnson and I, when we were married, he was an active Mormon as well for many years. We talked a lot in church. You didn't have a pastor get up every Sunday. So you had to get in the scriptures. And let me tell you, they, the King James Version, they definitely, that was the Bible for them. We didn't do, what is it called now? International Version. I forgot what it's called. I'm so sorry, y'all. But, of course, we had the Book of Mormons, Doctrine and Covenants, and Pearl of Great Price. So we would use all those scriptures, and most of them supported, the Bible. Some of them, of course, were not new variations, new prophecies, new prophets and stuff, new folks, Lamanites, Nephites, stuff like that. Anyway, so I taught a lot of that, and so I really became, really well versed in the scriptures. I forgot so much of it now. I'm old, Anyway, so getting back to my poem, I deviated. Oh shit. But, we would get up and talk, and that gave me more confidence. I also sang in the choir. Oh, God, I know, y'all. You can listen to my songs. You're probably going, whoa, she's right. She's not a singer. You know what? And I know you really don't care if you love me. It's just happiness. Let it flow. Sometimes it comes out in song. Remember David in the Bible? He would dance and sing and stuff. And I'm a dancer. I really am hoping that, I can only imagine what will I do. I'd probably get up there and go, woo! We made it. My mom, my dad, everybody that I love, Aunt Bertha, Aunt Betty, everybody, Adrian, my baby. Different versions of heaven. That's fine. Our pets are going to jump up there and go, whoo, Charlie boy. And I want to see people that I love and that, we didn't reconcile or something before in this planet and get up there and just give each other big hugs. And yeah, I still love you. It's all good. Okay. Heaven one day. Back up and get with it. That's one of my neck exercises, I've been doing these all weird exercises because I have, a total herniation on one side. So I get all these issues down all that side. Anyways, heaven one day. Ceiling of blue, shades of gray, greener than green, milder than May. Eternity for me seems more than a dream and a lifetime away. News of war, famine and fire, drugs and diamonds weaving their spell, men waging their odds against heaven and hell, child soldiers caught in crossfire. The Father, knowing all of this, sent his Son to redeem the hardened and penitent one. Praise and prayer, love and care, penetrate this heart and bring me there. I want to think. Oh, here it is. I found one little short more one. It's called Father, Heavenly Father. That is really one thing I loved about the Mormon faith is we always referred to him as Dear Heavenly Father, and we close in Jesus' name. If you didn't believe in him, why would you be praying, like that? So I just want to maybe correct some this. And all my LDS friends that think Mary is, doomed. I'm good. I'm really good, y'all. Okay. It must, I need a little drink of water. It must be the way he teaches us that life is hard, but so worth the fight. Because just when we start to sink, his love reaches down and sets us right. He's a right on time God. And I will share my faith a little bit here because I want my kids and my grands. I do want them to have a personal relationship with Christ. I don't care what church they go to, y'all. I know some people are like, well, we got it right, and they got it right, and we got it right. Go where your heart leads you. Go where it keeps you close to Christ. I think that stuff will get sorted out when we get there. We don't know everything. We know doctrine's been altered or whatever. Whatever encourages your growth. And this brings me back to my second ex, not Roy, sorry, you, Roy, you would never say this. I'll give him that. James Kavanaugh, he goes, I'm going to tell you, I was going through a lot of loss, and stuff. And I actually shared with him that I was mad at God. He goes to me, that is so arrogant of you. You cannot be mad at God. Are you freaking kidding me? I got mad at him, and I told him so. Come on now. He knows how we feel anyways. Why hide it? You know what I'm saying? Oh, God, just so much judgment, y'all. I'm okay. That's just those crazy little girls. I'm checking in with myself. And this is a thing that happened to me a lot, and I'm deviating because I think those are all the poems about faith. I think if I come up with another one, I think I probably got one in the pile, but I'll get back to it. Some of the things that have been said, you got to be careful what you say to people, especially, if they're at a point in their life and they're already in crisis. They're struggling, they're trying to do a good job, whether it's with their kids or their work or whatever. You could say one thing that could shoot them down, man. So, one time, I had problem with my ex, Roy Johnson, driving the children, because I was fearful that he would be drinking. I don't know about the rest of you, but that seems like a pretty rational concern. I mean, I know I had my flaws and my faults, but I didn't want him to die. So anyways, and so she says, well, you have your problems too, I'm like, I know, babe. What's it got to do with the price of rice? She pointed out, I saw a video when Miranda was 12, and I think she had makeup on. Oh, come on, y'all. Okay. And then she told me later, it seems like you're doing better with your third. That we should have sent David, like Tyson, when he was like 11, and then he would have turned out okay. After the bank robbery. He was with them when he committed the bank robbery. He'd been with them since he was 13 or 14, and he was 17 when the bank robbery was committed. I want to say he was, because he went to live with them at the end of 01. Yeah, he was 14, y'all, I believe. Yeah, he's 14. So he was with them about 3 years. And about a year that I couldn't have contact with him. I flew all the way to, I was so sick. I didn't know what was going on with me. I didn't know I had Addison's disease. And I flew all the way to Georgia to mediate, to get contact with him and to deal with our child support issue. And because I had never had it go through the court, I'd always try to be, work with him, and him and I always did work that out prior. But okay, so what am I talking about? I'm talking about judgment. So that impacted me. I already felt like a failure, so be careful. I mean, I never once said one negative thing to her about how she handled her kids. Nothing, I mean, one time I come home, and I am being honest, I'm being real, and at this point, what have I got to lose? You all can judge me for talking about the situation, but it really impacted me hugely. One time I come home, right? I went to see my nephew James graduate in Kentucky. So they had the kids. I get back home, y'all. All the screens are out of my windows of my apartment. All of them. Tim and I were not married yet. It was just me and the kids. And I didn't want to go in my place, I can't remember. Did I have a cell phone yet? No, I didn't have a cell phone yet. I forgot how I reached him. I had to go to a neighbor, I think. And I wanted to reach my son and see if he knew anything, because they had left after. Somehow, I just wanted to know, did he know anything about it? I forgot why I felt like he might understand the situation. They would not let me talk to him. Okay? And I would hear my ex in the background, what does she want, type of thing, you know. Such disrespect. So having said that, I had to go into that place not knowing if there was an intruder. I guess I could have called the police, but you know, I didn't want to bother him. Gosh, Mary, stop being so freaking nice. And you know, anyways. So, and I will type one. I wanted to say one more thing about my ex, James Kavanaugh, that night. Y'all probably think, by now, don't you know? Rick, stand up for yourself, girl. You went through all that shit and you're an adult and still something might happen to you. You have to remember all I went through that day. You have to remember how vulnerable I was to more traumatization, predation, you know, whatever the case you want to call it. So, I mean, I won't go into what happened, but I just keep that in mind before you judge, you know, victims, okay? I'm a survivor, of course, but when someone is victimized, you're still a victim until, you know, you can call them a victim. I don't know, you know, terminology. Sometimes I don't think it's necessary. Let the person that goes through it call them whatever they want to call it. You want fire? Don't be telling me what I should feel and how I should behave. You know what I'm saying? That's why I never say you shoulda, coulda, woulda. When I'm talking to somebody, I don't care who it is, professionally, unprofessionally. You know, you shoulda, coulda done, woulda done that. I would have, you know, why didn't you do that in that situation? What you want to do is you want to say, you know, when something worked out positively for you before, can you give me an example of that? You know, and how did you handle that? You know, is there some way we can look at how that might work in the future with the situation you're going through? Come on, y'all, have compassion. You know. That's what I got to say about that. I want to see if there's anything else I'm going to tie up. I am going to do some singing probably next. And then I'll get back to my poetry. And then I'm going to talk about emotional intelligence. You know, and then I want to talk about my beautiful children. You know, and where I really feel like I stand today with each of them. You know, my cousins, remember? We talked about my cousins and my aunts, a little bit more than family. And, you know, honestly, if you want to ask something, comment below. Or if you disagree with me, like you're a sibling or something, challenge me. But do it with love, of course. Only with love. Okay? You know, just do whatever you do with love. And we'll go from there. But I am completely and freaking dumbfounded, y'all. Why don't you remind me where I was at? Okay. You know, what happens at Addison's is you don't sleep well. You're supposed to get 9 hours of sleep with Addison's disease. I'm looking at my doctor going 9, 2, 3. Come on now. Let's be realistic. I can't do 9. You know I can't do 9. Oh, God. You know, I'd love to tell you, too, came about with Livy and David and how we adopted them and kind of what was going on in our life. Oh, I can't wait to get to all my friends. You know I'm going to hit on every one of you. What my plan is, I'm going to start with my childhood, the friends that impacted me the most, okay, and move on. Now I remember the one thing about PTSD and sexual abuse, and if you need to not listen to this, I completely concur. I was 8 years old, and this came to me. I was in a field with Sue Ross. She married Ray's brother, Rick. You know, so we've been friends way back. I got a funny story to tell you about them, too, when they were teens. But, hey, but I introduced them. They should be sending me thank you cards, y'all. I don't get no thank you cards from those ingrates. I'm just teasing. But, shit. What do y'all think? I'm trying to let it, these layers grow, okay? Then they grow, and I can start wearing it up and braiding it and go back to my long hair. It's the little things. What was I talking about? Okay, the field. So, I'm in the field. By the way, Sue Ross taught me how to ride a bike. Oh, my God. Gail Brannigan taught me how to tie my shoes. What was wrong? Why was I having to be taught everything? Was I really that slow? I think I did mention how I did when I was in first grade. I only got C's and D's, y'all. You know, I was going through some trauma. I only got C's and D's. You're like, when wasn't you going through trauma? You know, I will share some really wonderful things about my parents too, because I don't want you all to think it's all one-sided. Like they're like, ooh, where are they when all this shit's happening? You know. But anyways, so Gary Heil. Yeah, I'm naming him. Gary Heil from Vernon Center. I'm 8 years old because I had just learned to ride the bike. Sue taught me, just taught me. Oh God, we were fast buds too. Like in our early years, I don't know, we kind of off and on were close, Not that we ever had an issue with each other. We just were off and on. We, different people, different friends. So, we're in the field. I don't know why we're in a field. We're walking. We're kids. We just, in those days, you went everywhere. We're in a field across from her house. All of a sudden, Gary Heil comes up behind me. Where the crap? He lived on that road. Y'all, I don't know the name of the road opposite of College Hill. I haven't been back in a long time, but he was on that road. All of a sudden, this grown man, I realized it was Gary Heil. I'm running out of time, Shirley, so I'll try to tie this up. That creep comes up behind me, 8 years old, doesn't go behind Sue Ross. This is another thing. Oh, not that I would ever want anything to happen to any other child. So you see, something already, it was being like, we were being targeted. There's no other way out of it. We were being targeted. They knew we were vulnerable, y'all. Oh, God. So anyways, he goes to me. And you don't forget these things. There are things you don't forget. A lot of stuff you do forget that's hazy, but these things you don't forget. He goes to me. I've been watching your sister Betty in the shower at school. Oh my God, my sister Betty, is she okay? Can you imagine? Is he hurting my sister? I'm almost in tears thinking about it. I was like, what's he doing to my sister? I'm 8. She's probably like 13. Like, what are you talking about? I'm getting tears thinking about it, y'all. I mean it. Just like, don't you hurt one of my sisters. But anyways, then he just walked away. Of course, I didn't say nothing. I was scared silly. So you don't know what they're going to do to you, how severe this abuse and trauma is going to go, or if they're going to do you to loved ones. You're almost afraid if you say something, they're going to hurt them more. And the other thing, like, I'm sorry about that, y'all. It hurt me so bad. But the predator, the old man that died, the predator, they called him Grandpa Twist. What a name to give a predator. Anyways, I love my little sister Peggy so much, and I only got 1 minute left. Well, this just ties up the last of that abuse. I would literally sit until I saw her run by so he couldn't get to her. We loved each other, y'all. I mean, we're not all close now, but we loved each other. And we did look out for each other the best we knew how. We're kids. In one of my poems, I said we were small, Of course, my mom was still alive, when we were really small. I was 12, going on 13. She died on April 28th, and my birthday would have been July 10th. I would have been 13, y'all. Well, okay, so it's not that I'm necessarily being traumatized. I'm being moved, I'm so empowered. I would probably, I'm going to be honest with you. You don't want me to have a weapon around me if somebody hurts one of my loved ones now. You really, no, I'm not going to go to jail. I would not put my loved ones in that position, but there will be justice one way or another until I die, until my breath comes out of me. I love y'all. Y'all have a great Sunday. I try to be positive.